don't want anybody going to jail or prison for anything. So how can you like report animal cruelty if you don't want somebody to go to jail or prison? Is there a way? Is there some alternative? Is this crazy to you? I don't know, but this is what I'm saying.
Not in Queens County.
I think what we should do though is we should point out, and Nikki kind of talked about a little bit with the animal hoarding cases, that in specific instances where it's, you know, you don't lump it, even though it's horrific abuse and prolonged abuse, and the hoarding cases can be some of the worst in terms of the numbers involved of animals, the length of their suffering. There's often like a mental illness component with that, and people can argue, and we don't need to get into that, about how, you know, well, to do any of these horrible things, they would have to be mentally ill. But basically with the recidivism rate, unless they get counseling, there's a lot of more innovative stuff happening in the court systems now, to mental health courts, to get people the help they need.
There are many
that's not throwing them in jail with, you know, what other people call hardened criminals.
I'm going to also say that the maximum penalty in any event for an aggravated felony against an animal would be 2 years, and I know of no case in which that was actually imposed. Yeah. Correct.
Yes, in the back, I promise.
Thank you for your help with dogs and cats. I just wondered if there are any other animals that you've been able to help with. The Hallett Nature Sanctuary was dedicated to my stepfather as an honor in 1986, and that was, of course, a bird sanctuary. And he loved animals so much he wouldn't even help get rid of the roaches in his apartment, my mother. So that's question number one. And then two is, how come it's okay that we slaughter and eat chicken, gorgeous chickens and adorable pigs and adorable cows? How come that's okay? I can't even kill a fly.
Well, I think, and that, you know, talking about different kinds of animals can really open up a very interesting discussion. But just keep the narrow focus. Can we just focus on the cruelty statutes here in New York State, and where the companion animal will be aggravated?
Well, for the misdemeanor statute, all animals actually are encompassed in that particular statute. For the aggravated cruelty, which would be the only felony, what we have is only companion animals, and they're generally cats or dogs, but it could be anything that was, you know, a pet or a comfort to someone. I'm just going to point out that I recently, you know, was involved in a cockfighting situation, and we were able to, while many times they do euthanize many of the roosters that are found, we were able to place them for the Wild Bird Fund. We were able to place them in various sanctuaries so that they did not have to be euthanized. The only ones that were euthanized out of about 130 were ones that were sick and could not be actually put in a sanctuary for fear of, you know, contagious diseases for the other birds that were there.
And there's a lot of amazing animal advocates out there doing work on behalf of animals who fall outside of the cruelty statutes and the few federal laws that we have in place. Certainly chickens and other livestock often fall outside the laws that we have in place today. So we thank you for that question, and certainly you know, we can look for programs on those kinds of topics coming up in our next session next year. They're already in the works.
Or maybe ending of the topic.
You had a question?
Yeah, sorry. I thought you said to talk. But in high-profile cases when there's animal abuse, you know, the media gets involved and the animals are usually, you know, in a good place afterwards. But what happens if an individual calls in and there's somebody abusing an animal and you can't take care of that animal? Where does the animal go? Will it be safe or will it be euthanized? I mean, we don't really know.
So you're talking about, so the question's about confiscated animals for these cases?
Like an individual.
Right, okay, so maybe
Here in New York City, all of the animals go to the ASPCA hospital where they're treated, and there are many partners with the ASPCA, and they are sent out to various rescue groups and ultimately adopted. In virtually every case certainly that I've worked on, the animals have been adopted unless unfortunately the animal was killed in the process, and we don't have that. But that is the goal, and that's why they are sent to that hospital where they receive the best care that I could ever imagine for any animal.
Yeah, so I do have to wrap things up because we have two speakers who came in from way out of town that need to catch a plane, catch a train. So I want to thank all three of our speakers for speaking tonight. And I would always like to leave you with the ripple effect. So we thank you for coming, but I also hope that you go out and share what you've learned here tonight and come back for other programs. Bring a friend with you next time. Let's double the number.